Hi guys, how you going? Campbell here from Autodidactic Channel. Hope you're having an amazing day. Now, as always, guys, we need to stay self-educated in this world because the answers we're given from academia and the government and those in control do not make sense. There are anomalies all over the world. There are questions about our history, and when we ask these questions, instead of being answered and given facts, basically we're ridiculed and ostracized and told that we're stupid. And that's how academia deal with these questions of our past and our history, because they don't want us to know about it. There's stuff that they're covering up that they don't want uncovered. That's why they don't dismiss our questions. They try and make us look stupid because if they answer our questions, then that gives the subject validity, which means other people will start to ask questions and start to look into it, and that will open a Pandora's box of the past, which those that are trying to control our present do not want to happen. So today I wanted to talk about star forts. Well, I actually wanted to show you some star forts. Star forts are on every continent so far, apart from Antarctica, that I found. There are many different designs. Some are covered, some are not covered, but they are everywhere basically. So I've got a handful of, more than a handful, I've got some star forts to show you today that are basically on every continent apart from Antarctica. So let's jump into this. We are going to start off in Japan, and this is Star Fort Goryo-kaku in Japan, and as you can see, very nice star fort, moated, and we have this bastion, triangle shaped bastion that is disconnected from the rest of the star, which is something you'll see in other star forts. This one does, you'll see they actually radiate out further into the landscape, but they've actually been covered up. So if you have a look in the landscapes, you will see remnants of them. Now that one is a fairly big one. It's still a citadel, what I would call a citadel, which means there should be a star city around it. No doubt it's just been covered up by the houses. We're going to go off to Taiwan now. And another one, this is the Eternal Golden Palace. Oh, sorry, castle. And there we go. And as you'll see, there's no castle there, so I'm not sure why it's called a castle, but this is, you'll see these a lot. They're a square with every corner has one of these spear-shaped ramparts coming off it, and a lot of them are moated. I think all of them were moated originally. A lot of them have just been, filled in, changed, etc. As you can see, there's a bit more of a wall here, so they do go off into the landscape. There's always more there than meets the eye. So we're going to jump straight across to Europe now. Europe had a lot of them, a lot of good condition star forts, but like I said, this is just a selection. Okay, here we have a star city. Okay, as you can see there's literally a city inside this. We have the star fort going around. We have the spearhead bastions. We have these disconnected triangles. They're not really triangles, they've actually got like a bend on that side, so they're actually four-sided. Then we have, the traditional shapes. And we have these, what I'm calling crowns. They kind of explode out of the star fort. There's another good one here that looks like a crown. Okay, so that's a really nice star fort, and these are probably the citadels, and maybe there was two, maybe they had different purpose, but I'd say that one is bigger as well. Something you'll see around most star forts, if you have a look, is this, a circle. It's normally got an obelisk, a statue, or a water feature in the middle, and there is either 2, 4, or 6 paths or road, whatever, normally going into it. Just something I've noticed. Have a look at this. See that? That looks like it's part of the star fort as well. And if we go up, there's actually one close by, which is just here. So this whole region is probably a massive star city. Here we go, look at this one, very nice. This is a citadel. The citadels are the part of the city. A citadel, what they're telling us, the actual explanation today is it's like a fortification in a city where if the city is being attacked, all the citizens can go there and be safe. So it's like a barracks, kind of stronghold. And as you can see, that one's on a hill, and you can see it, you can see the different levels as it goes down. But that one looks to have been covered, and everything around it is flat. That's just a hill by itself. So how did that get covered? It looks like, was it covered from above? Because this one over here is not covered. This one, it's flat. Okay, it's going to take us to that one now. Okay, so still in Europe, still in Portugal, this is another star city. As you can see, it's got a full town in it, and we've got, a really nice star around it. We have these disconnected four-sided triangle shapes. We have the spearheads, have the walls. It's very, very nice. This in here would have been the citadel, I would say. Now it looks like it may have been altered, just because it's got a funny shape here, but you do see that a lot as well. And these circles, they're not, you do see the circular wall, the corners, not as much. Yeah, so yeah, they are different shapes. I'm not sure what these circles are, if they're part of it or if they're retrofitting of some kind. Excuse me, but you do see circles a lot. They're just not normally in the walls like this. I'll point some out to you later, but that looks like it's probably the citadel. It may not be. And of course this one looks like it's much, much bigger out into the surrounding countryside. Okay, so now we are going to jump across to Italy. And in Italy, Portugal, Denmark, Europe in general, there tend to be a lot of the cities that you can still see. The rest of the world, we tend to just have the star forts or the citadels, and the actual cities seem to have been built over or taken down or whatever. But here we go. This is, you can see we've got a citadel in the middle there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sided. So this is a pentagon, and on each corner we've got the spear-headed bastion, and of course the double walls that go out, and that of course would go out further into the landscape. No doubt it's over here, and there should be a citadel around somewhere. So let us move on. Okay, in Italy still, this one has a river running right through it. And as you can see, we've still got most of the moat there. These, like I said, all originally, I think, were moated. I think the water's got something to do with what they are, and I think they have a lot to do with energy. Obviously, there's a lot to do with geometry. And this one, very nice example. You can see it's quite big. It's got a whole town or dock or industry or something inside it. And you can also see the outer walls here. And of course, that one, there should be a citadel somewhere too, and it would be going out into the landscape. You can see things like this, just little interesting shapes, and that's raised. Obviously, that may be the citadel as well. This is the problem. So many of these have been built over. The ones that are in like metropolitan areas, populated areas seem to have been turned into like this. They just build inside them and build over them, and then the ones that are more out in the middle of nowhere just tend to have been covered up by dirt or mud. Okay, so nice star city. You can see it, very symmetrical, this one. Got the town built on a hexagon, 6-sided. As you can see, look at this, we've got the roads coming in perfectly as well. So there's a lot of geometry going on there. And then we have this satellite, like a boat shape. You see that a lot as well. They've obviously cut the corner off here. That may have been where the citadel was. I'm not sure. Of course, here we have a circle with 4 entrances going into it. No doubt there would be more than one, I would say, around a city this size. But there we go. That is Palmova, Italy. That's a fairly famous one. That one, you do see that one a lot. The Vatican City, the whole Vatican is a star city. I've done a video on it if you haven't seen it yet. And this is the citadel, as you can see again. Nice shaped star, and it's been eaten off into the river. But you know, we can see over here this corner here. Okay, so it's still there in the ground. This again, we've got, see, I've got the rounded bits on the corner, but this all looks to be retrofitted, all looks to be new construction. This middle bit I would say is old, but can you see it looks like this top bit has been added on, but the bottom bit is original. And then we can see the original shape here of the Pentagon. And of course, being the Vatican, there's going to be circles everywhere. Here's one right here. Okay, this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 passages going in. It's got something in the middle. So you find them everywhere. And again, you know, just in the landscape, we've got all these angles and triangles. So, you know, we're not really sure what's going on underground, how many levels these were. You know, were they multi-story type towns, and we're just living on the very top? You know, we're not really sure. Here's another nice one. This is the Citadel. It's been blurred over by Google Earth, but as you can see, we've got the nice edge here of the Star City, and again, that one would be bigger going out into the landscape. All right, so that was France. Let us one last one in France, and we'll jump across to Denmark. This is a very nice one, as you can see, really good condition. Built again on, or this one's built on a pentagon, and we've got, you know, the classic, just the 5 sides, and every corner has one of these spear-headed ramparts, and we can see it does go out into the landscape. It's much bigger. They've just built a nice big car park on top of it, like you do. But you can see there's a corner here. Okay, we've got, you know, built-in corners here. We've got the remnants of the moat, the original moat. But again, this is probably the Citadel, I would say, and we've got, you know, there would be a much bigger Star City surrounding it. You know, see all these different lines around here. Okay, so, oh, sorry, I put a few of France in. Here's, I mean, France has some nice ones. Look at that one. Obviously, you know, the moat's been dried up. This may be the moat, this may be, I'm not sure. But again, they've built a whole town or an industry inside of it. It looks like it was a pentagon design, but that doesn't look central, so I'm not sure if that's the original structure. But, you know, same thing, spearheads on the corners of a pentagon. You know, we have this disconnected rampart up here. It's just interesting how, you know, some are disconnected from the outer wall, like this one, and some are part of it. They all seem to be disconnected. And then again, you look out in the landscape and you just see angles and stuff, you know, just kind of everywhere. So have they been buried on purpose, or is it that people really don't know what's going on? You know, do the people who run this world at the moment, do they know what they are? Do they know how to work them, what they were for, or do they not? Or, you know, are they hiding knowledge? Are they not? That's the question. Look at that one. Beautiful. Again, it's got this disjointed rampart. You know, obviously the moat is intact. Now they've joined up, you know, a few bridges over here, which obviously aren't part of the original structure. But very nice one, right on the edge of the water. As you can see, it looks like there's a big pentagon that was around it. And again, that one would be much bigger. That would be the Citadel. So if any of these you want to have a look at, definitely worth investigating. And here's the edge of the actual city, well, one of the edges, and you can see all these spearheaded ramparts. And here's just a disconnected one for some reason. I'm not sure why, but you just see this random stuff. So there's obviously some geometric design. There's some reason they're designing them the way they do. Okay, now you can see this moat. This obviously went around here and caught up here somewhere, and it's just all been filled in. We even have this. Look at this. See this wall and the angle, and then look at that. It's just a rampart out in the middle of the ocean. So this is a big one. Big one. And you can kind of see it there, but you know, this area of the world, a lot of it went underwater. You know, that's Copenhagen in Denmark. Across to the Netherlands. Look at that one, very nice one. Intricate. They've built a road through there, so it looks like they've just cut through the wall. Done the same thing there. This one gone straight through the wall. Still got the canal. And again, that's the Star City. So there would be the Citadel would be in here. You know, probably in here somewhere. But they always have the Citadel and then the city, and then they're always a lot bigger than you think they are. You know, just having a look to see if I can see one of our circles around. With the entranceways into it, they're always around if you have a bit of a look. But I'll try and make this as quick as I can because there are a lot of these star forts. So I won't spend too much time picking. I'll leave a link to this presentation in the below, just so that you can go through this and check them out and see what you can find, guys. Look at that one, very nice, very good condition. And this one is a good example. You see a lot of them, there's a star shape and then they kind of explode out in one direction. And you can see this one's going out in this direction, while this seems to be fairly contained, but it's exploding out this kind of way. That's almost like one of those crowns. And of course we have just telling time signs all through the landscape, so that is probably part of an original moat. They have all these angles everywhere. There's a lot of good ones in the Netherlands if you do just want to do some, you know, star fort finding on the fly. Yeah, the Netherlands, Denmark, very good places to find lots of them. And in good condition. They're easy to find because they look like this. And again, you can see it's got, you know, this disconnected, you know, rampart. So some are connected, some are disconnected. Not sure why. Again, that would be bigger. You know, you can see signs, but you know, that may be half underwater as well. This is the Netherlands. So let's go to Finland. This one is a nice one, built on a hexagon design. You can see in the middle, and this is almost one of those circles, you know, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's the 6th one? 5 roads going in. Fairly big though, and there's no obelisk. That looks like a building, but very nice star shape, and you can see the walls out here. Now this is another feature, another kind of shape you'll see a lot of. It's just like a, you know, like a, I don't know, a slope, like a sloped off point, yeah, wide point, I don't know what you call that. But you do see that shape a lot, and you also see that kind of shape indented where it goes in. And obviously the spearheads everywhere. And if you come up, you'll see we've got all this, you know, interesting kind of lines in the landscape. And that again, that would probably be a city. So there should be a, you know, a citadel around somewhere, probably up here somewhere. See this little corner? It's probably under there, being buried. You'll also notice they're always called fortresses. Well, not always. A lot of the times forts or fortresses, you know, they love to turn everything into war. Either that or citadels and castles are the most common names I've found for them. This is another shape that you find a lot of. It's more the elongated sort of stretched out shape. Now this one is a bit obscure. It's kind of a bit twisted or something. But you can also see that it's kind of exploding off down this way, and it's also on a hill and being covered. But it's definitely a star fort. You know, we have all the classic, you know, this. See, there's one of those indents I was talking about, the cutaways. And then we have the spearhead. So there may be something missing from here. Something may have fallen off into the ocean. And then obviously they've retrofitted a lot of this. So there's one of those round bits again. I think they're retrofitting, I'm not sure. There we have a round circle and a round cement circle. Can you see that? You see these lots, they're just like a ring, a cement stone looking ring. So yeah, start to notice those as well. There's a nice angle, you can see the walls. This is definitely a star fort and it's been buried. Okay, that's in Sweden. And guys, there are more in every country. There's a lot more than what I'm showing. I've just tried to pick one or two from, countries that kind of span the earth. This is called Star Fort Rothenburg, and this is another one of those kind of elongated ones. Now these ones I call rocket ships. So as you can see, it's a pentagon, 5-sided, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But see how it's slanted up into like a rocket ship is what it looks like. This one's bent. Like I say, they're all different designs. They're all slightly different, and there's some reason for that they wouldn't have just done that on the fly. They would have been designed like that, and I think it's to do with the earth energies of where they're built. Again, this one is on a hill, on a big mound, and if you look around, everything around it's flat. There's another outcrop here and here. If you do see that, it's normally a good idea to have a look, and you'll see things like this. See that? See this bit here, here. So there's something big under there as well. Probably, I don't know, another star city, or see here, star fort. That looks like one of those crowns exploding out, and as you can see, it's been buried. You often do find more than one star fort at one place. So if you do find one, have a look around, because there's normally, more than one. There's definitely more that you'll definitely find something in the surrounding area if you've found a star fort or a star city. Here's another one that you can see they've built right into it. This kind of side has kind of disappeared. You can see there's, we've still got some of the shape here, but they've basically just built on top of it. But there it is, nice star fort. And if you just come down here, just look at this. So you can see this was actually a lot bigger. This may be the citadel, I'm not sure. This whole thing may be the citadel. It's fairly large. When they're this big, they normally have a smaller, actual central, kind of building. So that one's Germany, St. Petersburg. Citadel, so yeah, they're called citadels a lot. Citadel is just another word for like a stronghold where people go to be safe when their castles and things are attacked. This one is in Germany, and you can see a lot of them are like this. They're a bit hard to see. You can definitely see here we've got this big spearhead up here to another spearhead. Oops, up like that. And you can just see the line going in, and then this side can't see a lot really. But you can see that it looks like there's a line down there and a line down there. You have these, sort of funny shapes. So that's a citadel. There would be a city that would be part of a star city. So again, if you want to have a look in the outside, around that, you'll find a lot more. Also, guys, if you're in the vicinity of any of these, if you can get to them, please do. Take photos, take videos, let me know what you find, dig holes, make a nuisance of yourself. Alright, here's a cool one. Looks like the side's knocked off here, but as you can see, definite star shape. Then in the middle we've got a bit of the citadel left. See that? And then they've just covered it in, but you can still see this edge. So this is in Wichita, Germany, and they've just built a car park right over the corner of it. But this may have been half in the ground, half not. We're just not sure. But again, this would be a lot bigger, this city. Bit of exploration and you'll find a lot more in the landscape. Estonia, so we're going into Eastern Europe now. And there you go, they're everywhere. This is a classic 4-sided one with a spearhead on every corner. Again, we've got these disconnected. That's more like a spearhead rather than the sort of four-sided triangle shape that we see. And of course, right on the ocean, so a lot of it's probably fallen in. Now that would be a citadel, is what I'm calling them, which means that there's going to be a big star city around it. So a bit more investigation and you will definitely find parts of that. They're always still in the landscape, whether it be streets are built, along the lines or houses, because they're obviously big solid walls in the ground and it's just easier to build next to them. I have seen walls turn into roads, all types of things. This is Lithuania. Same kind of deal, we've got this kind of 3/4, but this corner seems to have been sunk and just built over. I've got the outside here, classic four-sided star. This would be the interior. It looks like they've just, I'm not sure what that is, built something straight over the top of it. But you can see this, one of those triangle ramparts just out there by itself. And no doubt if you looked in, you would find angles and stuff everywhere across the landscape here, just the markers. And of course, you always see, X's and just these lines and bits of geometry. Not sure what it all means yet. Need more investigation. So I'm just looking for a circle. Oh, don't know if that's one. Could be a helipad. But yeah, all these lines, they're probably all to do with the star forts and the star cities, really. They're just all through the landscape. See them all? Oh, okay, look at that. Did not notice that before. So there you go. Look, here we go. Now that is just a big spearheaded rampart by the looks of it. So that's, yeah, we've got something big here in the ground. So if you're near Klaidepa Castle in Lithuania, please have a look for me. Let me know what you can find out. Okay, Austria, Fortress Josefov. I'm not sure how to say that. Josefov, something like that. Alright, here we have another one of these elongated shapes. Now, unlike the rocket shapes, these don't have a point. I call these fish, the fish shape. It's just the same as a rocket, but it doesn't end in a point. And of course, we've got the nice, looks like the original kind of citadel in the middle here somewhere, but it's been buried over. Nice walls, the classic kind of spearheads in these, and these sort of slouched spearhead things. I'm not sure what I'm calling them yet. But again, that's the citadel. It's on a hill that's been buried. You can see the walls go around here, and it would be a lot bigger out in the landscape as well. So much more, research is needed on this topic, but they're just everywhere, guys. They're everywhere. So this wasn't built by any, if they're trying to tell us this was built for war, like really, like what? England just happened to come up with the exact same design as people in Africa, as people in South America, and there's times in the USA, guys, I'll have to do a list and just get some facts down of what they tell us they cost and how much went into, materials went into building them, because it would, if you got it all together, you could prove it was impossible to build them all. They were built pre-Columbian. They're all pre-Columbian in America. They are. Here's one in Poland. Nice citadel in the middle there. Classic four-sider. Bigger star. Obviously this was a moat and it's just been eaten by the river. But of course, like I always say, you can see bigger bits of it out into the landscape. And even if we come across the river here, you can see got points and angles and things. It's always worth having a look around. Seeing what you can find. Just see if you can see, things that are common to them all, or to at least a lot of them. See that one? I couldn't find any of those circles with the paths leading into them. They're not on every one. So I'm not sure if they've been retrofitted or if they're part of the original, but they're definitely on a lot of them. This is a different kind of this is like a satellite of the star city. As you can see, it's got a different shape. It's kind of like a half moon kind of a shape at the back there. And we've got these 3 bits, but these don't tend to be physically attached to star cities. If you can look, if I bring up, that doesn't seem to be, and you just don't see those angles that you normally see. It's out there by itself. It's not attached. It looks like it had a moat and everything. So these are like satellites. There are lots of them around. I need to do more investigation into them, but these, yeah, seem to be satellites. I'm not sure what they were, trading outpost or I don't know. But there's lots of them around, and there are different phenomena to the citadels and the star cities. That one's in Hungary. This is Croatia. Again, nice one. There you go, you can see the outside of the star there. It's kind of been eaten up a bit here, but you can still see it. And in the middle we have the square with the circle. And if you look out into the landscape, you can see that it is, you know, bigger than just this central part. In Croatia. Peter and Paul Fortress in Russia. Whoops, what did I do? Okay, so we've got a couple here close to each other in Russia. This is another one of the fish shape. That's a lot more symmetrical, but I'm still calling, you know, it's still a fish. And see this on each end, we've got these disconnected bits with the triangles in them, almost like mini crowns. And you can see bits of the starboard here. We've obviously got a massive crown here. Did you notice that? Okay, big crown, and see this shape in the middle. It's not quite the half circle, but it's still divided into, you know, got these lines dividing it, 3 lines. You see this a lot. Normally it's more of a half circle. And what do we have down here? But a circle with paths going into it. And it's got 8. Haven't seen 8 before. I've only got up to 6, but there we go. And out in the landscape, you can just see angles everywhere here. So you can imagine that was quite a big star city. Because this is just the citadel, guys. This is just a small bit. So there would be a lot going out there, and I guarantee it goes right across here as well. That is probably part of it. Alright, that one's in Russia. So I'm trying to get through these quickly, but I just find them so interesting. When I start looking, I just see stuff everywhere. See that? Look at that. That's just one of these spearheaded ramparts out on its own. Now this is obviously just across the way from what we just looked at. We were just across here. Whoops. Over there. So now we have this rampart here. Now it looks like we have another citadel here, but look what they're doing. They've just dug it out. We've got a helipad, but they've just dug this out. But as you can see, look at the walls. Okay, there's our spearhead. Looks like it comes up here. Can't quite see, but it looks like it comes across and in. So this may have been one of those crowns. May have been disconnected with a big point. Comes down here, looks like another spearhead. Then I'm not sure if that's like a pointy rampart. But you can see it's still definitely in there. Across the bottom here, you can see angles. Across here, and even across the bottom there. See that one? So that's what is that? That's a citadel. What? Like, are they destroying that? They obviously not there because we can see we can see the walls. So what's going on here? Are they just going around like they always do and destroying history? Here's another bit of it. Here's another one of those, see, the half circle that's been divided. See them everywhere. And of course this geometry, guys, you see it all over the place when you have these star forts and cities. There's a circle with bits going into it. I'm sure that's not the main one because there's no obelisk or anything in it. That's not a circle, but yeah, a bit of looking around and you find all this stuff. Look at that, that looks like a big rampart, you know, up here. It's just all there. So what's going on, guys? I mean, obviously someone knows that they're there when they're building cities over the top. You can't tell me you can build a city over the top of a star fort and not know the star fort's there. When you can see the width of these walls. They're huge. This one's been buried. Again, you can see the big mound. This is very common as well. Everything around it is flat. Okay, it's just this mound by itself. Maybe another mound there. And so what, has this been covered from top? Because, you know, any kind of mud flood wouldn't flow up like that, would it? And cover it all. It'd just sort of cover the base. It's like something's come down from the top. Now this is a star fort. You can see it's been covered, but we can see, you know, got the spearhead ramparts here. Across here, got another secondary level. Down here, there's another level. Okay, it's obviously all been covered up pretty well, but you can definitely still see it. There's a nice bit of the wall there, and around here you can see the star across the back. So it's all there. Like I said, I'll leave a link to this presentation so you can check all these out yourself. That one was in India. Now we'll go to Sri Lanka. Okay, so down in the tropics. So this is the thing, they're in Sri Lanka, they're in England, but they got the same design. I showed you one. Have you been to England? Yeah, I showed you one in England that had this star design, and this is the same. Okay, six-sided. This is a hexagon one. Got the moat. They're all the same all over the world. Okay, so they're built with the same technology, same civilization. Here's our circle with water in the middle, 4 entrances going into it. And again, this is a citadel, so there's going to be a much larger star city around. Might be a bit harder to find here because it looks like it's been built completely over. But there's a nice big angle there. So it is, you can find it. Just takes a bit of looking. Alright, going to keep going through. Okay, I'm doing this as quick as I can, guys. I've got a few to go. Vatican City, again, we saw the Citadel before, but I've made a video if you haven't seen it. Just quickly, you can see the walls around here. I've got those ramparts. Comes up here, those classics, all the way around and down the side there. And this one actually goes right out sideways. Good one to have a look at if you want to check it out. And of course, with as far as the circles, this is the Vatican, so they're everywhere. These circles with the lines going in. Then we've got these half circles with the radiating bits, and as you'll see, this is the full circle with the radiating 6 lines in. Then we have the big promenade that goes straight up to the Citadel. Another 3 radiating lines, and the half moon. What does that symbol mean? I've got to get got to brush up on my symbolism, because this stuff is the same everywhere. I'm going to have to start, you know, noting it down. Big job though, guys, so any help is muchly appreciated. This one is a star fort. As you can see, it's been covered up. Classic 5-sided pentagon. Fort Beausejour, and there you go. That's just a citadel. So that again, you can see bits here, you know, going off into the landscape. There would be lots there. Just have to mark it all out. You can just see that line there. It's an easy one. Alright, let's keep going. Where are we now? Okay, now we're in England. Sorry, we hadn't been to England. I'll show you some nice stars now. This is Claysbrook Castle. This is one of the more elongated ones. And it is a bit of a rocket ship. It's got the top bit there. It's just a bit, you know, obscure. You know, it's not completely square. And again, that would be a citadel, so it would be going, it would have bits going off into the distance. This looks like it's been built on top of it later, and you can see that bank, whatever's under there, has been covered up. And of course, we can see angles off everywhere into the landscape. You know, looks like there's a wall around there. So this is Claysbrook Castle, the UK. Now it's Berwick Castle. And this is quite a nice one. I can get on Google. What are you doing to me? Okay, there we go. See that one? Up around here. Like that, half in the river. Can't see the citadel, it's been built over. But you can see this one does go out further here. We've got more walls out here. Ramparts. Looks like a golf course or something, I'm not sure. And no doubt it would come across the river here. Got big angles like this everywhere. Looks like there might have been a moat. So there you go. So, quick look, can't see the circle with the lines going into it, but like I said, not all star forts have exactly the same thing. It depends, I guess, who finds and what condition they're in and what they know about them. If you find one and you know that it needs an obelisk and the obelisk has been knocked over, well, you're going to put it back up. If you don't know that, you're not going to. Another one, Fort Monkton, right on the edge of the water again. You can see these bits of the wall have stuck up, but the rest has just gone in. Again, it's turned into a fort. They love to turn everything into military, right? Because humans just love to run around killing each other, right? Yeah, how many humans have you ever met that want to go kill people and start wars? I've never met any. It's all a lie, guys. They're trying to teach us that we're these warlike creatures when we're not. They're getting these beautiful star forts that were probably made, I think, to, try and stabilize energy, create peace and harmony. And they've turned them into the complete opposite thing. They've turned them into war, destruction, and death. Okay, so let's keep traveling here. Still in England. This is in Essex, and look at that one. That's a very nice one. Missing the corner shoulder here, but that's a 5-sided pentagon. Got 3 of the corners, and as you can see, this bit's coming to water. Still got our moat and our disconnected. See how they're 4-sided? They're like angled in to to mirror that. And as you can see, there's more going on here out into the landscape. See this bit here, but of course it's half in the river, and you would no doubt find it across. That looks interesting, just that landscape, all these different shapes. Probably goes right across the river, I'd say. This would be where you'd find the circles, and the half moon things and all that kind of geometry, geomancy, whatever it is. But like I said, I'm trying to be quick, so we won't have a look now. Okay, this is Star Fort in Cumberland, England. Another nice one. Pentagon, 5-sider. Look at that, they've just ripped that wall down so I can get into it. Because as you'll notice, see, they don't actually have entrances. I don't know if you've noticed that, unless, the military come along and make one. Again, right on the edge of the water. And you can see bits of it protruding out into the surrounding landscapes. That's a pretty interesting. That'd be a good one to have a look at. See all these angles and everything, you can see it everywhere. And no doubt it goes across here as well. Alright, let's keep moving, Where are we going now? Ireland. The Emerald Isle. Looks like I marked this one twice, and there we go, another one right on the edge of the water. This one's, a bit of a strange shape, bit lopsided. Only got 2 ramparts here, and then we've got 4 there. But this is the thing, they are all different. They all look like they've been designed specifically for where they are. They're all different. And see, this one's exploding out this way, as far as we can tell, Look at those cliffs. God, they almost look carved out, don't they? But yeah, there's obviously a bit of this in the water. No doubt it would go out further too. But again, fort, they've just turned it into fort, military. Oh, here's some of those circles. Okay, we see these stone cement looking circles. A couple more there. Oh. Things to look for. So if you have any ideas, guys, please leave me a comment if you know what these circles are, what the what those half moon shapes mean. The stone circles are circles with the paths going into them. Here's another rocket ship. This is Pendennis Castle. You can see again it's on a mound. It's been covered up, but this is basically a pentagon, but it's got the point at the top. So this is what I call a rocket ship. And again, see how you can see it's all pretty symmetrical and all connected. Then we just have these two bits, or this one bit, there may be another that's just not connected. It's just off by itself. And again, this is half on, most of it's under the ground. It's a bit hard to see, but you can see signs of it for sure. This is the Royal Citadel in Plymouth, and look at that. So this is, you see this a lot with the walls. They're either full and they just build on top, or it looks like they've emptied them out and built in there, like they've it's been full and they've gone in and dug it out. But that's a classic. I've got all these classic ramparts. Here we've got the shapes. The connected rampart, the four-sided ones. In there we've got a nice circle with a statue in it, and of course this one would go out into the landscape. You can see stuff like this everywhere. Another obelisk there, 4 bits going into it. So it's just this kind of geometric stuff all over the place around these star cities. Like I said, more information is needed on my part to know what it all means. I just think that it has a lot to do with energy. This is James Fort. Just a nice 4-sided one there. This, I would say, has been built on later. And if we go up, you'll see it's proper Star Fort. Here we go, pentagon, 5-sided. Got the spear headed ramparts, and it's on an island, so a lot of this is probably in the ground. You'll probably find bits of it up here though, I would say, if you wanted to have a look for it. Could be something down there. And there's also another one just here across the water, so this no doubt is part of something much bigger. Okay, so this is just across the water there. Get a better view for you. Okay, now here we are at Fort George in Scotland. You can see this is a lot like that Fort Pendennis that we just saw. It's a rocket ship out on a point. Now this one looks like it's been covered, but nowhere near as much as that Fort Pendennis. So this may be in the water. We can see, lines coming out like here. But as you can see, yeah, nice rocket ship. It's got the crown at the bottom here, or it's almost like the fire coming out the bottom. This would be the centre that's been all built over, but you can see would have been something else originally. And you can see it does get bigger here and it does go back into the landscape. See it everywhere. That's Fort George in Scotland. Okay, now we're at Ireland, Fort James. Another one on a mound. You can see this is the top of a mound, and again right out, this is an island, I think, is it? Yep. Or a peninsula, pretty much. But yeah, completely covered up, and classic 5-sided, and you can see it going out into the landscape. It's down here. If you look at the coastline, it's just a few sort of telling points, but most of it would be back here because this is all covered. And it's another thing, this is a peninsula and it's a big hill. Everything around it looks to be flat. So how did that get covered into a hill? And when you do see these guys, always just have a quick look around for another hill. Most of the time it's another Star Fort. Oh, I didn't even see that. So okay, look at that, right across the water. We've got another one here. That's good, right on the edge, exploding out this way. So there we go, got one here, so no dice. There would be a lot going on around here. But this is the other thing, that they just build them, they're on the coast, they're on rivers, they're on mountains, they're on everywhere, which to me is indicating that is important. And their shape, but so I think it's to do with energy in the earth, and they have to be put on the right places to whatever they're supposed to. But as you see, remember I noticed before, there's no gates going into these, and makes them, smashes a hole. But here's a nice one. Bit of a long, pentagon. Bit of a long one. There'd be a city, would be a bigger star city around it. We won't look now. We just keep going. So that one in Peru. That one is South America. So we're going all over the South America. Okay, now this is in the state of Rondonia, which I hadn't heard of. It's in South America. I couldn't find classic four-sided star fort. We've got examples that look exactly like that in Europe, in America. Are they all exactly the same? And they're telling there was no worldwide civilization. We are being lied to. You just can't deny this stuff. It's just everywhere. All right, we'll keep going. So this is America. Back to Brazil. And there's one that's almost identical. This one has one of these disconnected, four-sided triangle rampart things. I'm not sure what that shape's like. A rhombus, is it? But yeah, again, right on the water. And that's a citadel. Now this looks like it's been fairly built over, and there's muddy water, so that would be hard to find more of. But it would definitely, there's definitely more under the ground there. Okay, we'll keep travelling. This is Bermuda. Royal Naval Dockyard, and as you can see, there you go. The classic bits of the Star Fort. And look underwater here, what do you reckon? Is that another level of the Star Fort? Point, I don't know. What was that like? Who knows? The water levels have changed so much, that's why half of these are underwater, on the edge of waters. They're covered up. If you look around, you can see bits of this old wall along here, the old Star Fort wall. So it was much bigger than just that end bit. Up the end here, it looks like we have... No, maybe that's newer. But yeah, these things are everywhere. It's in the middle of the ocean, guys. Bermuda. Like, seriously. Why'd they build a Star Fort there? Like, explain that one. I mean, seriously. And look at Bermuda. It's the top of a volcano. Alright, Venezuela. Again, these are just everywhere. Four-sided classic shape. And again, see how they're all different. This rampart, triangle is connected. This one is disconnected. What does it all mean? And you can see again that's bigger, but where that is, most of that is in the water. Venezuela, that one. So this is South America. Now we're going across upwards towards the US. Now this is in the Florida Keys. This is Fort Jefferson. I have actually done a whole video on this one, asking questions like where did they get all the stone from and get it out to there, the middle of nowhere in the 1800s, and literally their stories are we just, put it on boats and shipped it out there and built this amazing structure that's completely symmetrical in the middle of the ocean with no foundations on a coral key. Fort Jefferson. So the story doesn't add up. What they're telling us these things are does not add up. So all requires more investigation, guys. His story is not our story. There you go, this nice one. And you see a lot that look like this. Now when you see them look like this, that this is what they're like uncovered. And then you see lots more that are covered up. Most, you just see the top of this shape. And they're either dug out in the middle or they're full in the middle and they just build on top of them. So it's a citadel, as you can see. Got the surrounding star. You can see we've got big shapes in the landscape. And this one is in Florida. Actually, that one, I'll just show you. If you want to have a look at this one, it's worth having a look at because look at the shapes on these islands. See that? This is, I don't know, that's got a bit of a shape to it. And down through here, I also saw some stuff. So that one is definitely a lot bigger. And here we go. Here's our circle with our bits going into it. Could be another one there too. Alright, that's Florida, guys. Anyone in Florida, get down, have a look. St. Fort Castillo. Now this is Fort Pitt in Pittsburgh. I have shown this one once before, and this one you'll see, this looks like a little bit of the Star Fort, the Citadel. Then we've got a rampart here. Goes across under, they've just built straight across on top of it. Here as well, by the way, looks like one of those circles. So the wall will go across here. We've got another big spear-shaped rampart. Then it looks like a pentagon. Come out here, and then down, and we have the last one there. And then let's see this line that actually goes through this concrete, through it, across, and then we have our last one there. And then we have all these other shapes, of course, obviously in the landscape. So that's stuff this has been built completely on top of. Over here we have our water moon, and that's obviously because there's not much land there. And we have a water feature in a circle. And guys, if you just look around here, there's bits of this Star Fort all through the landscape across on either side of the water. So if you're in Pittsburgh as well, around this area, if you can get down there, I'd be looking across other sides like what's this thing? Looks like a big spear-headed rampart, doesn't it? So there's lots to discover, guys, lots to discover, and the more that we do this together, the faster we're going to do this. If we can map all of these, who knows what we can find out. We might be able to find out what they were for, even how to turn them back on, who knows. There's a reason all this information is coming to light now. Another nice pentagon, beautiful shape, as many others. It's on a peninsula and it's been covered. And as you can see, it does go down further. And if you look out into the landscape, you would find more of that, because that is just a citadel, but of course most of it may be under the water, who knows. Fort McHenry, Maryland. Star Fort, Ontario, USA. There it is. Another perfect Pentagon Star Fort, or Citadel. If you can get down and check it out, guys, check it out. Like I said, there'd be more stuff around here that you'd be able to find. Okay, so we're still in the USA. I think we've got one or so more, and then we're going to head off to Canada. This is in Georgia. This is one I actually came across myself. And as you can see, it's completely buried. But you can see the star shape here. Okay. And then this is the citadel, the top bit here. It looks like a pentagon. You can see these shapes in the landscape. And then if we go up and come down here, you'll see there's actually what looks like a bit of it sticking out of the ground. Covered as well, but that looks, just the angles, that looks like it's probably part of the Star Fort. So, or the Star City, sorry, that would be the Citadel. So, what's going on under here. If you can get out there and have a look, guys. Last week up, I said it was Georgia, and I think it may be South Carolina. Okay, so if you're in this part of the world, South Carolina, go and have a look. Check it out for me. Check it out for yourself. So I'm just trying to get the name of Newberry, McCormick, Greenwood, Saluda, around that area, guys. You can get there. Again, look at that. I mean, you just see them everywhere. Exactly saw in England, the same as the one that we saw in Peru. Okay, you're telling me this is just random? Of course it's not. It's just laughable what they tell us. It's a joke. And again, on the peninsula, most of it's underwater. It looks like it's been buried, but you can definitely see bits of it in the ground. No doubt. So if you're in Boston, get down to Fort Independence, have a bit of a look around. There's another one over here, Fort Warren, Boston. This is on an island, obviously, and you can see here we are, Spearhead. spearhead, spearhead. Comes down, see the wall there? And it looks like it comes out as a spear there, up and across, and then we've got something here. Now it looks like this side's, I don't know, been eaten away or fallen away or something, like this whole sort of corner. No, but this side's pretty good. Of course, most of this would be under the water. So, you know, I don't, if you've got a boat or something like these islands, they'd be really good to check out, because you can imagine the water levels changed here, and I would say that if we've got a bit here and a bit here, or where was the other one? Here, there's going to be stuff all through here, you know. If you go down, like, what's this State Island thing? I bet, you know, they build all these state things owned by the state where you're not supposed to go, but they're just hiding stuff, guys. They're just hiding stuff. It's time for them to be exposed. It's happening everywhere. This is all coming to the surface. All the history, all the, you know, the bloody pedophilia stuff. You know, all this stuff that controllers have been doing, it's coming to light. And it's time for them to fall. And this is a good way we can prove that they are lying and changing history. It is another pentagram perfect 5-sided star in Canada now. You know, and that again is a citadel. It's not the city. So if you're near there, if you're near Fort Erie in Canada, get out and have a look and see what you can find in the landscape as well. Have a swim. Tell me what's under the water here. I mean, a reef out there. I've got a few more in Canada for you. This one is the Citadel of Quebec. This is a cool one. If you're around this area, definitely please, if you can go and have a look and get some photos of these walls and tell me, you know, what they're made of and show me them, because we have the Citadel here. Obviously, it's half fallen into the water, but, you know, perfect 5-sided Citadel. And again, you know, we have some of these disconnected ramparts. This looks to be a double one maybe, or maybe that was done later on. I'm not sure. Here's another disconnected one. They just cut the corner off it. And this one, if you can get out there, this wall, see that? Comes all the way down. Here's our water in the circle with the 4 tracks, 4 paths going in. Yeah, if you get like a photo of these walls, tell me what they look like on the outside. I would appreciate it, because this wall comes down to this corner, comes up here. They've actually built a road inside the wall. It comes up and up around here. It's pretty easy to see if you sketch it. Here's another circle. 6 points going into that one, and you can see down here. You know, I've only sort of traced it around here, but I guarantee you it's a lot bigger. So get down and check it out, guys. Quebec. Citadel of Quebec. Still in Canada. Halifax Hill. Sorry, Citadel Hill, Halifax, I think it was. And there we go. A nice starport. And again, this is I'm not sure what this is. It's kind of, if I turn it around, it's kind of like a really short rocket ship one, because we've got the point here. But then see how we've got the outside, and these all 3 are disconnected, so it's different again. So there's something going on with the geometry and how they're built. Again, you can see this is on a hill. It's been covered. Everything around it is flat. Might have to have a look at that. Got circles around here. That's not the right one, but you can see in the landscape, you know, you can clearly see it's still there. So if you can get out there, guys, take a shovel, dig a hole. Tell me what you find. Here's another circle. Oh, sorry, and this is probably what where the Citadel was originally, maybe. And then again, this sort of shape, you know, where they cut it. It's not semicircle, but they do use that one a lot. Let me just go down here. Oh, there you go. Looks pretty interesting, doesn't it? Out on this island. You can get there, guys. That's worth a look too. Hard to see, but look, these walls, they look like thick walls that have been dug out. I would say that's part of it. I mean, would need a bit more investigation, but that, you know, being so close, I would say that that's got something to do with it. Like I said, of course, it needs a bit more looking. Now we've already been there, so let's go to the other side of the world. Let's go to Western Australia, my home state. Western Australia, Australia, in the middle of the desert, we find this. Sorry, come on, Google Earth, what are you doing? Okay, here we have Starfort in Western Australia, and now someone commented that this may be a dry dam, and it may be because you can see we've got the square here, and they've obviously built up walls, and that's what you do in Australia. You just build up in the desert, build up dirt walls, fill it full of water, but it does have these spearheads on the corner, and it has this square around it. I'm not sure what this is. But I don't know. What do you think? Is that a Starfort or a dam? Let me know, because it's literally in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I've got a couple more in Australia. Oh. Looks like we're going to go to Malta first. Sorry, put them in the wrong order. Here we go. St. Fort St. Elmo, Malta. Here you go. We've got the beautiful star at the top. And then, as you can see, we've got the spearheaded ramparts all the way around. This one actually goes, as you can see, it's quite big. You can see bits across here. So that's another one. See the walls here. So most of Malta is a Starfort. It's a really good place to have a look if you want, to see what's going on out there in the world. See along here, just everywhere, you see all these angles. It's just a massive Starfort that's been built on top of. From Malta, we'll go back to Australia. This is Tasmania, Kangaroo Bluff. And there it is. Again, out on a peninsula. But you can see the star shape here. The walls around, the different levels. And there's even down here, if you look at the lines, it's quite interesting. Yeah, in Australia, quite covered up. But that's a very familiar shape. This almost looks like, to me, like one of those satellites that I showed you before, the satellite kind of star things. And that's what it may be. That may be sort of by itself without too much around it. Someone in the comments said that they were going to go and have a look. So hopefully they do, and we get lots of pictures. In Vietnam, I tried to get these in order, guys. We were supposed to do 3 in Australia and then go to Asia, but obviously I haven't got them in the right order. But look at this, middle of Vietnam. Again, this could be straight out of the Netherlands or Denmark. 6-sider, hexagon, very nice. Moat's still there pretty much. And look at this. There's a sports stadium in there. So this is big. This is a big one. There's a sports stadium in there. There's tennis courts. There's, industry. There's suburbs. There's a park with a really nice big triangle in it. Okay, so that's a good one. But again, that I would say you'd be able to find a lot more going on outside of that. This is a very interesting looking thing. I'm trying to be quick though, guys. I've been as quick as I can. I know we've actually gone past the hour mark here, so I hope you're enjoying if you're still with me. I'm really just showing you this to show you that these are everywhere, guys. They're on all continents, obviously excluding Antarctica. But I've found them on all continents, and just across, like in Europe, they're in all countries. In South America, all you can find them everywhere. It's proof of a previous civilization and a previous technology. Okay, this is Vietnam, really nice one. And again, you can see they're all slightly different. This is one's like splayed out long ways, but it looks to be pretty much just a pentagon. Not sure where the citadel is on this one. need a bit of investigating, but see, you can see bits out in the landscape of this. This would have been a lot bigger. Okay, where are we going now? Is it still Vietnam? No, we're Malaysia. So we're still in Asia, so that's good. Malaysia, Fort Cornwallis. Anyone in Malaysia can have a look at this, please do. Now look, straight away you can see that shape, that classic shape that I keep talking about, the half moon sort of, 90-degree sort of shape. Okay, and as you can see, we've got a four-sider here with the nice 4 perfect spearheads, and they've just built right into this one. Again, right on the edge of the ocean. Maybe these are just the ones that eat, maybe the reason they're so many on the edge of waterways is because that's where our society lives, and so they've been uncovered easier. That's what I'm thinking, because really they're just everywhere. Here we have another one of these shapes with a circle in it, and no doubt most of that one is in the water, but again, that's a citadel, so there would be a star city that would go out into the city there in Malaysia. Straight back to Malta, and this is just another one on Malta just to show you. Nice hexagon one there for you. And again, they have to smash their way into it, build, bridge across the moat, the old moat there, to get in, because they don't seem to have access. They're solid walls. See that half circle? I don't know, was that one of those full circles? I'm not sure. But you can just see all these angles everywhere. They've built right over the top of it, which makes it hard to see. I'm not sure if this is retrofitted, this wall. But you can see it's actually bigger than it looks. There's another wall out there. They just tend to expand out, here's the bottom corner of the star. So there's a lot more there, guys. It's just hidden in plain sight, buried underneath, mud, rubble, or buildings. We're just buried out of the sight of our vision, right? Look at that. Woohoo! Nice, big spear rampart. And if we go back, oh, look at that. There's another one. Oh, there's another one. Okay, here we go. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is there, I believe. That one, yep. 6. Comes around, there's another one there. 7. Comes around, there's one there. 8. In there is one. 9. 10. I think there was one there. It's gone, I don't know, but there's 11. 12. That's where we started, I think. So yeah, look at that. Big round one. Well, it's actually not round. If you look, there are straight lines between each one. It's just a multi-sided star city. And in there somewhere, I would say there'd be a citadel, or maybe it's in here. See how this looks like it's part of it, but one of those crowns or the exploding bits. So in there, but this has been obviously majorly built over. Majorly. So that one is Cyprus. So they're everywhere. Now we're in Africa, guys. Morocco. Look at that. Nice one. Not covered at all, the top of it. There'd be a lot more underground there. These things are never on their own, but as you can see, nice classic square star fort. So this whole area has probably been buried a bit. Okay, so that actually looks like a low point. But if you looked out in the landscape, you would find much more out there. So Morocco, we're now in Africa, guys. Okay, we've been to Europe, Eastern Europe. We've been, on islands, Japan, Taiwan, Malaysia, through Asia, South America, Canada, and Australia. And they're all the same. And here we have one in Syria. And this is one of those long ones. That's all. These ones are long and they're always buried, always covered up. But you can see we've got it there. We've got the original shape in here. It looks like it's been built on quite a, a lot of building going on top of it. But yeah, it's definitely sitting up on a big mountain there, isn't it? So most of it's under the ground. Again, this one's got the rounded bits, so I'm not sure, more investigation needed on those, but here you can see this is back to the classic star shape. Right guys, almost at the end, just got to get through Africa. Egypt, Pharaoh's Island, did you know that there's one in Egypt? A bit harder to see. You can see the walls there, certainly. Pretty interesting kind of island here. Probably not the best view. Oops. But you can see this is, now we have the star shape here, but it's just the corner of it by the looks of it. I'd say the rest of it's in the water. But this is the thing, like this is just an island in the middle of the Nile. You can see there's nothing there, like nothing. One dock, and so what's this big fortress being built there? Like, why did they go and build that? There was no World War I or II in the Nile River. There was, you know, they'll tell us it was built for some war, really. I doubt it. That's something from prehistory. Citadel of Khaybar. This again is in Egypt, and there you go. That's a nice one. As you can see, it's a pentagon. You know, again, they've built this over the top of it. They've built into the walls, but you can see that is a nice pentagon. Now this one's out on an island almost. So that being the you know, that would be a citadel. So again, it would stretch back into the land. If you wanted to have a look at it, if you are in Egypt, get out there and check it out. Angola in Africa, you know, these are third world countries we're now starting to hit, but they've still got the same kind of buildings, and that is classic star shape. Now, I'm not sure what's going on this side, but that is, you know, that's classic style. And like I said, they're all different. They're all designed for their own position. Got our half moon shape there. So that again would be a citadel, so there would be much more going on out in the landscape. So you can check it out, have a look. You know, it is good fun when you can find them. You know, draw the borders on there. Make some videos, guys. Let me know if you find any more as well. You know, let's add to the database. Here's one in Ethiopia. And you can see the shapes here. You can see it's mainly underground, but see this pops out, in, out, and these are the walls. You can see the angles. Is that one of those round cement stone kind of things in the ground? So this is a lot harder to see, obviously, but there's also, you know, what's Ethiopia doing? Building, you know, a third world country. What are they doing? Putting all this money into building these massive forts and things that are just sitting in the middle of their town in a park. You know, that's ridiculous. If they're telling us that's been built for a war, it just hasn't. The only wars that have gone on here in recent history are civil wars, and that's basically, you know, they're not building castles. It's not medieval days. But yeah, you can see the end of this wall here. Just wanted to point it out because it is a bit of a harder one to see, but if you do look, it's definitely there. Ethiopia. Okay, star forts are everywhere, guys. Who built them? What was the purpose? Do you think they were built for forts to actually protect people in war? Or do you think there was some other reason? Here's a nice one. Look at this. The walls have actually survived the sea. Nice star fort. And this is in Suriname. Again, right on the edge of the water. Now, can't see much in there, so that's the citadel. There's probably it's probably all under the water, but also across onto this bit of land. But I mean this is the thing, that if that's the very top of the Star Fort and it's at ground level, well, most of it's gone under. So it would need a lot of excavating, and this is the thing, archaeologists go around the world and they'll dig up all these old ruins. When was the last time you heard them digging up a Star Fort? Now, they only look at what they want to look at. This is in Ghana. What I find strange is that when you go to third world countries, the quality of the images gets worse. I mean, aren't all coming from the same, or we're told they're all coming from the same satellite, right? So why is this image so much worse than the ones in America? I can zoom right in, and Europe and that, first world countries. No, they don't want us to do that in Africa. But this is, built right up, it's right on the edge of the ocean here. And this looks like it's just the very top section. It might be a crown, it might be a satellite, I'm not sure. But it's definitely there. And if you look back a bit, we've definitely got all these points here, in the landscape. You can almost see it going around here. See that? So that would have been a part of a much bigger star city that's sort of out here somewhere. Suriname, third world country in Africa. Ghana, third world country in Africa. Fort San Sebastian, because this is what third world countries do. They go and spend all their money building forts that look like stars that are in the middle of their cities. I mean, come on, guys. It's a joke. But this is another one that's actually uncovered down to the base by the looks of it, of the top, the top citadel. Again, like this, look at this, third world country. You've got to get back here somewhere to get any resolution. But that again would be part of something much bigger. We can see bits in the landscape everywhere. So if you can get to any of these places at all, guys, please do. Please take camera. Please take a video. Get as much info as you can. Dig holes, check out walls, do cool stuff. Fort Jesus or Jesus in Mombasa, Kenya. Okay, now this one, I'm not sure if this is an ad on this bit, but it looks like, I don't know, it looks like a pen, one of these sort of stretched out ones that we see, like the fish and the rocket. But this bit here is a bit funny. So I'm not sure if that's an add-on or if that's original. I don't know. But as you can see, that's a pretty classic shape. And again, that would be the citadel, so it would be going out much further into the landscape, and you can see we've got angles everywhere like this. So it's kind of a dead giveaway that it is a lot bigger. We see this stuff everywhere. Here's our circle. This one's got 4 points going into it. Looks like a statue in the middle. And that is in Kenya, guys. It's in Kenya. Okay, almost done. Second last. We are off to Mozambique. Mozambique, out on a peninsula in the ocean pretty much. Now this is similar to the one that we just sort of saw in, was it Suriname? Bit better structure, but you can see it's kind of one of these ones that's built, it's definitely not symmetrical, but we have, the ramparts on the corners. They're all sort of different shapes, these ramparts. But like I said, it's something to do with the energy. It's got to be. They're all slightly different. And this one is obviously going to be in the ocean a lot, but no doubt there's bits of it up here as well. Nice sort of star shape. See that? Always bits around. Here's a circle. These circles are often like the keyhole shape. They often, see how that, but if that kept going to there and you have the half bit, it's like the keyhole sort of thing. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this trip around the world, guys, looking at star forts on 6 continents. As you can see, it's a definite, they're all built the same. There's definite traits that they all have, and they're all over the world. And we're talking, you know, Christian countries, Muslim countries. They're in Israel. They're in, you know, places where there's different religions, tribal religions. You know, they're in Eastern Bloc countries that used to be atheists. They're everywhere. They're in all different cultures, all different languages, and across 6 different continents that we've found so far. And they are all built on a similar design. So this is the last one. This is South Africa. Castle of Good Hope. So this one's a castle. So this is exactly the same as one that we saw that was called a fort. It's exactly the same as one that we saw that was called a citadel, and it's exactly the same as one that we saw that was called a fortress. So what the hell's going on? As you can see, this is pretty much in the middle of Cape Town. So it's all being just built over. And again, this is pretty much at ground level. You can see these walls here. So I'm not sure if these were uncovered, but obviously there's a lot underground. It's been covered up. It's not on a hill or anything. So these would have just been built straight over the top of it. But you still just see these funny lines, you know, straight lines in the landscape. Don't know what they're about. Okay, can anyone see our circle? Where's our circle? You can see all over here all this different geometry. I'd say that's our circle there. We've actually got 2. This looks like it might be a fountain. This looks like it's a statue or an obelisk. But there you go, circles, 4 paths going into them. Here's an even more intricate one. They're just everywhere. It's always the same. Why is it always the same? What is all this nice big dome? You know, look at this geometry. You know, it's and there's that. Okay, the half moon with the radiating bits. You know what's going on here? Are they just building over other stuff? You know, finding stuff and just replicating it, or do they know what they're doing? Because I don't know what they're doing. But there we go, guys. So that was actually, I think there were 2 that were same, that 2 double up. So there was about 84 star forts there in an hour and a half. So if you're still with me, congratulations, thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, guys, if you can help, you know, I'm going to leave the link to this presentation. So go through it if there's anything near you. If there's not, have a search. If you can't find anything near you but you want to get into it, leave me a comment and I'll see what I can find for you. Yeah, and thank you for watching. You'll find down in the description, I've got a Facebook page and Instagram, so please like both of those. There's also a link if you want to get some merchandise, autodidactic merchandise, and let the world know it's time to be self-educated, guys, because self-education is the way forward. Alright, hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I will catch you on the next upload. Bye for now.